stands for Virtual Engagement Utility. It's sort of a bundle of common usable features that we can interchangeably put into different builds we make of this application for different learning purposes. We very quickly put motion captured footage of a dancer onto a 3D model that is a 3D person, an avatar, and we put it into our VEU environment so they could see what that would look like. Social work students need to practice interacting with their clients. This seemed like a good fit because a part of what they do is field work. They have to go to the client's home and they have to make a very nuanced assessment of the state of things while also having a conversation with their clients to find out, how they can help. Actually, the hardest part of virtual reality is trying to show people who are not in the experience what it's like, and this is a bit of the dilemma I'm facing here, which is why I'm going to use footage from the desktop build of VEU. First, I'm going to start a new game. It produces a new unique identifier, and that is what enables me to pick up and continue my game next time, even if another student has used the application since I used it. And it also is the way that students can sort of ping their instructors. This is the beginning of the simulation. The content was vetted by a social work expert. And essentially it describes me as a first-year social work MSW candidate. And this is my field placement with an organization called Wellness First Community Services. So I've knocked.
Who's there?
Good morning, Miss Rowland. I'm a social work intern from the Wellness First agency. We have a scheduled appointment today at 11 a.m. I spoke with you yesterday to remind you of the visit.
Hiya. I don't think so. Maybe? You look kind of familiar.
Well, actually, we've not met before. I've been referred by Dr. Meltzer. You actually may have met my supervisor, Ms. Hernandez.
Oh, okay.
Often at little break points, the simulation will prompt with a reminder to the learner. Why don't you sit over there, Ms. Rowland, so we can get started? And I immediately get some feedback referring back to the NASW Code of Ethics. It says, while you may be eager to start working with the client, you should not be so directive. Self-determination takes place right at the beginning of your interactions, and some would argue even before. Is the couch okay?
It's as good as any place.
So it flags me that I've begun a task. Basically, on the back end, the way this is authored is in learning segments. And each learning segment, it's almost like considered a chapter in a short narrative. So within the learning segment is a grouping of tasks I need to complete to advance the simulation. And we kind of structured it in the same manner a lot of common narrative video games work. Now, if I glance down to my client file, this is where I can access the details on the simulation. On my left, I can review my goals, and on my right, I have a pretty detailed background on the client. And this is actually pretty relevant to the simulation. It's good for the users to read through this, and this is also essential to the actual work they're practicing. There are files in here that are authentic from this profession, and here's the tasks I was mentioning and the learning segments I mentioned. The agency let me know that your fall was caused by tripping on a rug. If you don't mind, however, I'd really like to hear how it happened in your own words.
Sure, I don't mind telling you. I was going for the phone, and then I tripped over the damn rug. Oh, I'm sorry for my language. I just get so upset when I think about it.
Okay, I'm prompted to learn about the client's injury. So in this case, I'm given the option to have a conversation, or I can first take a look around the room to see if I can spot the rugs. And I think one of the advantages of virtual reality for this kind of thing is you can create sort of learning scenarios that involve the environment directly. So I want to demonstrate that. So in this case, Select that. It's prompting me to glance around the room and find all the rugs. Okay, so right away, I can see there's obviously a rug right below me, and it looks a little bit like it's not laid flat, so it certainly could be a rug that someone tripped on. Is this a new rug?
Somewhat new, but not really. My grandkids got it for me for my 75th birthday. My sons told me it was expensive.
So that's VEU, Virtual Engagement Utility. The plan at this point is to make it available to students in the fall. Given the remote situation due to COVID-19 and the fact that most users don't yet own an Oculus Quest, we'll begin making the desktop non-VR version available. Although in the future, when most people are back on campus and have access to our digital studio, we'll urge users to use the experience on our Oculus Quest hardware. Thank you very much, and I hope you found this informative.